Hey, what's to YouTube fam? It's your girl TK, and I'm at home vlogging, darling. And I decided that I wanted to get online real quick, and I mean real quick, and talk to you guys about the 45th president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. Now, numero uno, the reason why I really got online is because I was putting some things together, on my community tab on YouTube, and I thought it would be something interesting that I should share via video. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to understand that in the year of 2021, Donald Trump was asking for a lot of things from the U.S. Supreme Court. And there was 3 cases in particular that really caught my interest. And I wanted to share that information with you because you know me, sharing is caring, darling. And I do care. So the first thing I want you guys to note here is that just me knowing that Donald Trump Donald Trump was the 45th president and he is currently running for presidency again is to me a thriller. And that's just my opinion. Please understand that this man is being investigated. Please understand his opponent, Joe Biden, is also being investigated as well. These are 2 individuals who are like the big components for the Democrat as well as the Republican Party, and they are running for presidency. I cannot fudge and believe it. It should not be allowed. It shouldn't be tolerated. But I guess they're the only people out there for the American folks. So I guess they're running again. Anyhow, I'm going to share these 3 cases with you guys that happened around the time of February 2021. And I wanted you to give me your opinions, your thoughts, your attitudes. What do you think about these whole situations? Now, the first thing I want you guys to understand is Donald Trump. He had a case. It was Donald Trump versus Cyrus Vance or Vance, however you want to pronounce it. And the case number, just in case you want to look it up, is 20 A as in Apple 63. Now, the case request was a stay, S-T-A-Y. Now, for the people who have not worked in the federal sector, don't worry. I want you guys to understand what a stay is. A stay is basically asking the court to, stay my job, stay my position. And they usually give you a stay for up to a year time, but it can go a little bit longer. It just depends on who's, in charge and what they are feeling like doing at that specific time. I don't know why I can't say specific. It was hard to come out just now. But anyhow, it just depends on what they feel like doing. And with Donald Trump, when he was requesting a stay, they actually denied his stay. Honestly, when I saw it online that they were denying his request for a stay, it was just very interesting because this man literally has been getting his way throughout years thus far. And maybe this was just a way of him getting his way still without getting his way. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, let's move on. The next case that was brought to court was, let's see here. It says Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. I had to look, y'all. Sorry about that. It was Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And the case number is 20-882. The case request, how are presidents elected? So they're trying to review the U.S. Constitution and seeing what is the correct mannerism for this head of state to be elected, How is it really done? Now, there's going to be 3 questions that's presented, and I'm going to bring it to you guys in a synopsis format. Now, the first question, it says, was Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, as well as the 14th and the 15th Amendment, violated when the legislators stated that ballots may not be counted? Number 2, whether the U.S. Supreme Court violated Article 2 regarding absentee ballots, which stated that envelopes must contain all statutorily required information and may not be altered and delivered. Number 3, should the U.S. Supreme Court set aside electoral results as not produced in the manner directed by the legislator and hence as failed within the meaning of 3 U.S.C. 2, thus affording the Wisconsin legislature explicit statutory authority to appoint presidential electors to represent Wisconsin. So basically they want to know, can you go without having a ballot, can you go without voting a person in to be an elected official and to be the head of state? Do you not have to go through those prerequisites? You know, can a person be a head of state without being voted in, basically? Now, the third thing here that Donald Trump was bringing to the attention of the U.S. Supreme Court was a case. It was Donald Trump versus Veronica, and she's the acting secretary of Pennsylvania. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Well, maybe let me just present the questions, and then I'll let you know what I want you guys to understand. Now, the questions that she was presenting was regarding compensation and how are presidents compensated. Now, it says here, the first question, compensation regarding the U.S. president according to Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 of the U.S. Constitution. So basically, under the first question, they were looking at a certain article to say how a head of state should be compensated. That's what they were looking at. Next thing that they were looking at was regarding appointing. And they looked at the U.S. Constitution and they were talking about mail ballots and how fraud can occur. Number 3, they also talked about, does the court have the power to provide a meaningful remedy in advance to January 6th, joint session of Congress at which electoral votes will be opened and counted, or before January 20th inauguration date specified by the U.S. Constitution? So not only are we looking at how, presidents are elected, but they're also looking at compensation and how do I say that word? Let me look at it. Inauguration. Hopefully I'm saying that word correctly, because I can tear up somebody's words, y'all. I don't mean to do it on purpose, but honey, it just happens sometimes. But anyhow, yeah, this is what we were looking at. And this is what he was presenting to court, is what is supposed to really happen when we are speaking about the head of state. Do you follow the U.S. Constitution in specific? And when are you allowed not to follow the U.S. Constitution? Now, one of the things I want you guys to understand is that I have alleged that the U.S. Constitution has been breached. There is a separation in power, which caused a head of state, which is a sovereign. Okay. Now, with there being a sovereign would be a person that would be considered someone that's over a president. Unfortunately, that's what they caused when they would not fix my situations. Was this something that I was asking for? Absolutely not. It's just something that did occur. Now, I want you guys to understand, this is what I wrote on my community tabs, and I want to share it with you guys. And look at me, like, as I'm trying to share, my nose is like itching. Anyhow, I'm just going to keep it going. It says the U.S. Supreme Court justices is abusing their authority and refusing to handle my case in specific and in its entirety appropriately. The U.S. Supreme Court justices are aware that they fired the sovereign, and they know that I have not been compensated appropriately, and that is why this whole situation became a thriller. They were bringing cases to court. They have been presenting cases to court because they know they caused a separation in power. And they know they created a sovereign state. Anyhow, I just wanted to share with you guys tonight just 3 cases that Donald Trump presented to the U.S. Supreme Court that I thought you would have thought was interesting. Anyhow, comment, like, subscribe, darling. Please keep those notifications on so you know when your girl is online. Peace, love, and happiness, guys. Bye.